So, hello and welcome to the St. Rock Instrumental Breakout Room. My name is Mr. Haynes, and with us is also Mr. Lamorte,
Hi, everybody. Mr. Lamarte here.
and we have Ranveer, a grade 12 student,
Hi there.
and Rosa, also in grade 12.
Hi.
And we're just going to do we're going to talk about the instrumental program, and then we will give you an opportunity to ask any questions that you might have about auditioning or applying or about the program or the classes. So we'll get started. This is the some of the pictures from our instrumental program. So we have the drum line, we have concert band or symphonic band, jam club, and jazz band, just out of these pictures. So this is our classroom or our rehearsal space. Normally it looks a little more like the picture on the left. Currently right now it looks like the picture in the middle. And sometimes when we are using the drumline drums, it looks like the picture on the right. Mr. Lamorte, would you want to talk about the performance space and the sound system?
Yeah, not at all. So our school, ladies and gentlemen, our school boasts a very, very powerful, very high quality sound system. And this sound system will be found in our cafeteria. This is where we hold our main events. So our Christmas concert, our spring concert, our small ensembles concerts, even the musicals that we coordinate alongside with the drama department. They all take place in our cafetorium. And our cafetorium, like I said, it's got a very powerful, very high quality sound system that we're very proud of. There's no point in doing all this in rehearsing all these hours for the quality not to be there. So we put in the effort, we put in the time, we get the sound where it needs to be, and then we project that sound in our cafetorium with our sound system, which was put in pre-COVID. I would say probably 2018, 2019. So it's a brand new system. It's a very powerful system, and we're very proud to have it. And we hope you guys will be able to check us out one day and be a part of the productions that we do. Thank you, Mr. Haynes.
Okay. So here is the course selection or course calendar for instrumental. So in grade 9, you have to take English. Basically, you have to take English all 4 years. You have to take math in grade 9, 10, and 11. Science, you need at least 2 sciences, so 9 and 10. Geography, history, French in grade 9, civics and careers in grade 10, and you have to take phys ed. So you have religion in grade 9. And that is mixed in with other regional arts students. So we get a chance to bond and get to know some of the media majors, the dance majors, the vocal majors, the drama majors. And then you have your core instrumental music class, which is your concert band style instruments, your trumpets, your flutes, clarinets, saxophones, trombones, tubas, all of that. In grade 10, you have basically 2 electives, but if you're in the regional arts program, you'll notice that the elective spaces are filled. One of them is, again, the core instrumental course, where you're playing the concert band instruments. And then Mr. Lamorte can talk more on the guitar class. There's a slide, so I don't know if you want to mention a little bit now or you want to wait.
All I'll say right now is that what you guys should know coming into grade 10 is that you get a credit. So you need 30 credits to graduate. One of your credits will go to this guitar course. So that is all you do for that semester. You learn to play the guitar, you learn theory in relation to guitar and how it parallels with stuff you're doing in your other music classes. I mean, as Mr. Haynes said, there is a slide on guitar. I will talk more about guitar coming up shortly. Thank you.
Okay. And then in grade 11, you have your 3 compulsory classes. And then there are 2, this is new this year. It used to be 3 regional arts classes, small ensembles, again, the core instrumental. And then in previous years, you had to take the piano course. It is now as an optional course. So if you look on the side, there are actually now 2 optional classes that you can take because the music theater class is now open to all regional arts students, whereas before the instrumental majors and the vocal majors would have a keyboard class. Which again, if you're looking to possibly move on post-secondary with music, it would be a really good idea if you don't already play piano to take the piano course, since most university programs require you to have a like most that I know of, it's a grade 6 piano equivalency. I'm not sure if that's all universities. Did your university have that as well, Mr. Lamorte, or no?
Yes, yes, they did.
Yeah. So that's pretty standard through most universities in Ontario. So that's a great asset and a great course, obviously, to take. And again, if you're somebody that really loves music, why not get 3 credits in music, right? And then you have 2 open electives. Then in grade 12, you have to take religion and English. And then there is a stage band or jazz band class, your core instrumental, and you're open to 4 other 4 other electives again. Okay, we'll keep going and we'll see if we can do the questions at the end. So the core instrumental classes, both Mr. Lamorte and I teach the core instrumental classes. So during each of these courses, students will participate in instrumental warm-ups, sight reading, sight singing, ear training, rhythmic training, theory, history. We get guest artists in who will work with the classes and perform concert band repertoire as well as group repertoire. So in these classes, what normally happens is students will be introduced to all the concert band instruments. If they've already played them before, we do offer them a chance to continue the study of that instrument, or they can also, at this point, if they wanted to try something else, they could. But they usually pick their top 3 choices, and then we pick them through a lottery process. And then that doesn't mean that they can't play or try other instruments. Normally, right now with COVID restrictions, this isn't possible, but under normal circumstances, if a student is a flute player and they want to take a trumpet home over the Christmas break, or they want to take a trumpet home on the weekends and learn trumpet, we fully support that. So there are opportunities. Some students have graduated from our program being able to play 7 or 8 instruments, which is really phenomenal.
Why don't we ask Ranveer and Rosa? I mean, how many instruments they play? And I mean, keep in mind that they've also been affected by COVID for the past year and a half, 2 years. So even with COVID over the past year and a half, 2 years, how many instruments are you guys walking away with knowing? Ranveer and Rosa, for current students.
So prior to auditioning for this program, I had a bit of band experience and I played primarily the trumpet, and that's the instrument that I auditioned on. And then when I was in Mr. Haynes' grade 9 in core instrumental class, I wanted to play French horn, and that is the primary band instrument, which I've stuck with. And then in grade 10, again, the grade 10 guitar course is so beneficial to me because you get to branch out of traditionally band instruments and you get to learn pop music, and you get to learn again, in grade 11, the keyboard, like traditional pop instruments that I wanted to learn but never could for some reason. And I got to do this through school. So right now I'm sitting about learning like 4 instruments, which I think is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, that's great, Ranveer. Thanks. Rosa, what about you?
Yeah, so I actually was a piano player coming into this program. So I auditioned on piano. Then in grade 9, when we did the lottery, I ended up playing tenor saxophone. Great instrument, by the way. It's fun. Then I also joined drumline. So I play snare and drumline. I took Mr. Lamorte's guitar course in grade 10. Then keyboard was a big bonus. I'm so excited to play that as a piano player. In grade 10, I also picked up trombone and trumpet. And I practiced playing those. And then recently I actually took home a flute. So that's maybe like,
It's about five or six by my
5 or
count.
6. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great, Rosa. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, folks. So what you see in front of you is just a slide on the grade 10 guitar course. In the previous years, Mr. Haynes or myself have both taught this course. So basically, like I mentioned before, in grade 10, you'll be taking this guitar course. You will get a credit for learning guitar. I want to stress that this is designed for the beginner guitar player. So those of you who have guitar experience, that's great. I welcome that. I welcome that, and I'm going to find ways to challenge you. I'm an experienced guitar player myself. I've been playing guitar for I think it's something like 32, 33 years now. So you coming into this course, if you have some experience, I can challenge you. You coming into this course, if you're a beginner player, I will get you playing the guitar. All right, and that's the beauty of it. It's not a kind of one size fits all. There's different levels going on in the course, and I realize that, and I try to do my best to cater to the different levels, whether you have experience on the guitar or not. So anyways, what you'll learn in the guitar course, you're going to learn performance techniques, performance situations, whether you're in a solo, as a soloist, in a duet, as part of a trio, or part of a larger ensemble. You're going to learn the balance and the combination of melody and harmony. You're going to learn chords, different kinds of chords, different ways to strum the chords, different way to finger pick the chords for different styles: classical, rock, country, pop, etc. We are going to look at the history of the guitar, kind of like just a survey of guitar music throughout the years, and all theory that relates to the guitar and parallels what you will do in your core music courses, the instrumental courses. All right. Thank you.
Okay. So the grade 11 keyboard class, again, this is now an optional course, but as Rosa said, and Ranveer said, it was really beneficial to them. And again, I would recommend it for anyone that's considering possibly taking music after secondary school, for sure, or anybody that wants to learn the piano. So the keyboard, they learn proper techniques, scales, varied repertoire from different genres, and accompanying techniques, history and listening. They focus on established pianists from different genres. Sound engineering, create projects using varied sound engineering programs. Theory, they focus on triads, dominant sevenths, diminished sevenths, cadences, and music analysis. And just like the guitar class, if you are an experienced piano player, Mr. McCallan will find music that is actually challenging to you. So he gears what the students are playing in class to what their abilities are.
Now, the small ensembles course. So if you remember from the course calendar in grade 11, 2 of your electives are already chosen for you, one being the instrumental, the core instrumental program course, and then the small ensembles course, which you see right here. The small ensembles course, what you need to know about the small ensembles course in grade 11 is that there is no examination for the small ensembles course. What you have is term material and what's called a CPT. The CPT is your culminating performance task. For the culminating performance task, the assignment is to put on a concert. For the class, you can see in the picture there, the kids on stage, they titled their show Rock With Us, and that's the picture of some kids, and the other one, Rockcella. So they're using the rock pun in their names. And you see them taking a picture on the stage with their class. So it's a class project that you put together, the CPT. The class project is to put on a concert for the community, for your parents, your friends, the outside community. And what you do in this is you bounce around from instrument to instrument. So in this course, you learn how to do guitar, or you revisit guitar because you would have done it in grade 10. However, you learn guitar, revisit guitar, you learn the drums, you learn percussion, you learn bass guitar, you learn the keyboards. We do some singing as well. All good musicians know how to sing, even if it sounds bad, they still know how to sing. So we do some vocals, and we learn how to do sound and mixing and lighting as well, because you need that to put on your concert. So this is a very exciting course. During COVID, obviously we've had to alter this course, but I look forward to getting back to doing this. It's one of my favorite things to teach, one of my favorite things to do. All right, thank you.
And a lot of students also say this is one of their favorite courses. This is the one that they usually all rave about too, because it's them getting to choose what they want to do to some extent, right?
To every extent, basically every aspect of this course is selected by the students. They choose the theme for the course, for the concert. They choose the songs that they want to learn. They decorate the cafeteria. They decide all the decisions are theirs. That's the beauty of it. The beauty of it is that everybody brings in their own special talents to make the concert come alive. So grade 12 jazz. Mr. Marr teaches the grade 12 jazz course. I personally, I run the after school extracurricular jazz band. So I can talk a little bit about this. I mean, one of the main factors of jazz music is improvisation. So I know Mr. Marr is heavy on jazz improvisation. Improvisation just meaning seeing familiar patterns in music and expressing yourself through solo in those patterns. So there's improvisation techniques, ear training, learning how to hear patterns and rhythm, learning how to write down what you hear for intervals, chords, melodic recognition, and chord progressions. History of jazz, which is super exciting. Theory, the theory is expanded from everything that you've done from 9 to 11. So in a theory for this grade 12 jazz course, you learn about seventh chords, jazz harmony, extended chords, and syncopation. And you're going to learn about jazz repertoire. Similar to the small ensembles course, the jazz course has its own concert as well in grade 12, where students have to put together a concert and perform, whether as a soloist, combo, or as an entire class. And we call that jazz night. We usually hold jazz night somewhere in January or February, if I'm not mistaken. And it's always an exciting night with food and prizes and great music.
Okay, so we also have a wide variety of after-school ensembles that normally run. Right now, we're just starting to get a few of these back up and running. Some of them still can't run due to restrictions, and other ones are just starting to get their legs under them again. So we're just going to go through what we would normally run as far as the ensembles go. So usually for the beginning group, we have what's called concert bands, and it is one of the required ensembles for all instrumental majors who do not gain entrance into the symphonic band. So because the core study is the concert band instruments, the students are required to be part of one of the two concert bands. This ensemble rehearses once a week. And it performs music that's written at a 100 or 200 or a grade 1 to 2 level. So by grade 2, we're getting a little more challenging, but grade 1 starts out pretty comfortable for most of the students. Performances include St. Roch's Christmas Concert, Spring Concert, and the Ontario Band Association's annual music festival. The symphonic band is one of the required ensembles for instrumental majors. It is an audition group that rehearses once a week. The ensemble performs music that's written at a grade 3 to 4 level or 300 to 400 level. And performances include St. Roch's Christmas Concert, Spring Concert, the Ontario Band Association's music festival, and music festivals that occur during our what were annual band trips pre-COVID. Some of the students that actually do play in both bands. So some of the students that make it into the symphonic band, they just love playing their instrument and they want to play in the concert band as well, and that is completely acceptable.
Yeah, and I just wanted to point out as well, the pictures that you guys are seeing in this presentation, these are all pictures of our students, previous concerts, previous events that we've all had. Because while Mr. Haynes is going through his presentation, I'm looking at the pictures and I'm thinking, I hope these kids or these parents don't think that we found these photos on Google, because they look very professional and they look very impressive, and they are. So what you're seeing right here with the jazz band, in this jazz band's setting, these are our kids. These are our kids that we worked with, that we did a competition for. This was the Collingwood competition where the kids ended up getting gold that year. And yeah, it's not something we pulled off of Google, a Google image. These are our kids. These are real life situations. Okay. So the jazz band is an ensemble, after school ensemble, that is open to all music students and rehearses once a week, usually on Thursday afternoons. Performances include St. Roch Christmas concert, the spring concert. It's not listed here, but Jazz Night, a jazz band plays at Jazz Night, of course. Collingwood Music Festival, and our spring trip. So usually a spring trip involves some kind of competition, and the jazz band would perform there as well, and anything else that would come up. Sometimes the city of Brampton, downtown would need some music for a special event, and they'll call us up, whatever it may be. So it's been known to happen. Just wherever music is needed, we're there. Thank you. All right, Jam Club. So Jam Club consists of basically rock bands, pop acts, hip hop acts, funk bands, R&B, whatever it may be. Just this is a way for students to kind of do more of what they're interested in. I find that students enjoy learning about the jazz realm, the classical realm, but what they're listening to on their phones or whatever, it is more connected to, say, Jam Club. Jam Club is a club where we bring like-minded individuals together. Doesn't matter about the grade. I could have a grade 9 student working with older kids, a grade 11 band. It just has to do with genre. So making sure that everybody likes to play in the same realm and the same style of music, and that they're all similar with their level on their instrument, their proficiency on their instrument. So for Jam Club, what you need to know is that auditions are required. Performances include Rock in the House, Christmas and spring concerts, and many other events, usually held within the city, downtown Brampton, Garden Square, tree lighting ceremonies, usually just wherever music is needed. You can see in the picture there, the one on the left it's called Center Stage at the Rose Theater. So we had our kids performing on the stage at the Rose Theater. And the one on the right was the We the Future Symposium, where our students were invited to perform for that event as well. Thank you.
Okay, another group that we have is the Drumline, and Drumline is an audition group. The Drumline performs at sporting events within the school and the community. The Drumline has performed in the Bolton, the Brampton, the Toronto, the Weston Santa Claus parades, St. Roch Christmas concerts, spring concerts, and the Canadian Drumline Association competitions. So actually this weekend we are recording for the virtual Brampton Santa Claus Parade, which will air next Saturday on, I believe, their YouTube channel. So a bunch of the Drumline members and myself we have to go somewhere this Saturday to record a segment for that. And then over here is one of the years at the drumline. We've won 3 provincial championships, and this is one of the pictures from that year. The auditions. The last conversation I had with the regional arts coordinator, right now they're still looking at having the auditions being held virtually. If restrictions change, that may also change, but right now the audition process most likely will be virtual. Please check our school website regularly and follow our Instagram account below for updated information. And these slideshows and presentations will be on our website as well if you don't get the address currently. So now we have a video that was actually made by 2 former students that graduated last year, and they interviewed current students as well as past students and just talked about the program. And for us as teachers, this was a very moving video to hear what the students had to say about the program, because this is something that I didn't know about it. I don't know if Mr. Lamorte knew about it, but this was just something that I
did not know about this as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is great. This is completely a student done production. So we'll just play that. I'm gonna mute myself just in case there's an echo. Let me know if the sound isn't playing. I'm pretty sure I'm screen sharing with sound.
The St. Rock Instrumental Program is a specialized program that focuses on instrumental music in categories such as performance, music theory, and history.
In addition, we also have a variety of extracurricular group ensembles. The Jam Club is a collection of smaller bands playing a variety of genres including rock, pop, funk, R&B, and others. They perform at in-school performances as well as travel around Brampton performing at various events such as the Brampton Tree Lighting Ceremony, City Hall, and have played in the Rose Theater's center stage.
Being a part of Jam Club at St. Rock is probably one of the greatest experiences I've ever had, being able to play with young musicians like myself and represent our own school.
It really is special, the amount of people you get to meet and the amount of places you get to go to play music for your community and lots of other people. It truly is an amazing feeling.
Concert and symphonic band are both required ensembles here at St. Rock. They focus on more traditional and orchestral settings, but often play film scores and popular arrangements as well. They play at our Christmas and spring concerts, as well as popular shows around the Grand Toronto area.
I really like going to concert band practice because I found it was just really enjoyable getting to come together and create music with other people in the instrumental program. I found it was just really nice being able to learn and grow with other people, and getting to play tenor saxophone at school was really cool.
Despite coming into the program already knowing how to play the piano, it has helped me to challenge my musical abilities by playing high-level music that is both fun to play and fun to listen to.
The jazz band focuses on a variety of jazz styles and performs at our annual spring and Christmas concerts, as well as various competitions and events around the area.
The jazz band is a very inclusive and diverse ensemble where everyone's free to creatively express ourselves through jazz and through music itself.
Jazz band was the most enjoyable ensemble I played in during my time in high school. The variety of music that we played always kept me engaged. Being able to play in competitions around the community and in concerts made some of my most memorable experiences during high school.
The Drumline is one of the most popular ensembles here at St. Rock. They've won multiple provincial championships for the Canadian Drumline Association and have appeared on TV quite a few times for Toronto Santa Claus parades. They often travel around the Greater Toronto area for community events and are a great representation of our school spirit.
The absolute highlights of my high school journey was joining Drumline. Mr. Haynes made sure we got a ton of really unique opportunities we wouldn't have found anywhere else, and I also got the chance to build up my leadership skills and meet some of my best friends.
As a senior who joined a lot of different activities throughout high school, I have to say that Drumline for sure was one of the most memorable ones. I stayed in it all throughout high school just because I enjoyed it that much. There's just nothing like creating bonds and learning new skills with like-minded people.
I think it's not talked about enough about the relationships and bonds you make during this program. Not only with the students, but with the teachers. And really, I don't think there's much better than that.
Love working with the instrumental majors is that they are a talented and enthusiastic group of students who take ownership and pride in the program.
What I like best about the arts program at St. Rock is working with the students, working with them from grade 9 through 12, helping them develop and helping them to become the musicians that they want to be.
And I've done things that I never thought that I would have gotten to do if I wasn't in this program.
It impacted me in so many ways possible. It's a great program.
Being in the instrumental program, I've been able to bond with my major, and I can happily say that I've gained a new family.
Hey everyone! You may have noticed that in our video we didn't directly focus on the curriculum of the program, but instead we chose to focus on what's outside the classroom. Well, this video was made by students, for students, and we wanted to highlight what our favorite part of the program was and what we thought really made our high school experience. So that being said, for your grade 8s, I have to encourage you, when you go to Rock, join everything, meet everyone, and enjoy it. We definitely did.
Your microphone is off, Mr. Haynes.
We have one more video that just sort of highlights some of the performances that we have had the great opportunity to participate in. And then we're just about done and we will be able to take questions very soon.
Presenting their 2018 production, Paradise Found, the Canadian Drumline Association is proud to present the St. Rock Drumline.
So again, Mr. Haynes, I want to highlight that everything you see there, actual performances, are actual events by us, by our kids. Yeah. Your microphone is off, Mr. Haynes.
Yep. A few years ago, we asked students from all the areas a list of questions. We're not going to read through these for you. If you're interested in seeing, again, now that we have the student-made video, but it's just interesting to see where former graduates have gone to or have found themselves post St. Roch. Not everybody that's in the instrumental program necessarily goes into music. Some people go into teaching, like Miss Emily Lamb here. Kyle Govea went on to McMaster and went into med school. And Mario is a performing musician. So you can read up on them when the presentation or the PowerPoint is posted on the website. And then you can follow us on social media at St. Roch Music. And now we'll take and try to answer some questions. And if we can't, I'm sure Rosa or Ranveer can.
Yeah, folks, we'd love to hear from you. Mr. Haynes and I have talked long enough, so I'm sure you guys have some questions. Please ask.
You can either type it in the chat or you should be able to unmute and ask. What I'll do in case somebody is typing, one of the common or the most common questions we get is what type of students are you looking for, or how strong of a musician do you need to be? Because the Catholic elementary schools don't have instrumental programs, we look at talent and potential talent, but we also look at what kind of a student your child, or you, if I'm talking to the students themselves, what type of student you are. So we look at how well we are going to be able to work with you. Is there potential? Maybe right now your skills are very limited and you've learned to play a piano song off of YouTube. And we take that into account. We look at a number of factors. It's not just the most talented people or currently most talented people that get into the program. So we look at everything: students, references, how you are in your audition when we're working with you, and all kinds of things like that. So we now actually have a question, and it looks like it's Jam Club and Jazz Band. So Mr. Lamorte, you could take that one.
Yeah, of course. I actually don't see the question though. I don't see it on my end.
Oh, the question
is reading it to me.
Sure. The question is it possible to be part of the Jam Club and Jazz Club at the same time? And how many students are accepted from the audition process?
Okay, so those are all great questions. So number one, yes, it is possible to be a part of Jam Club, Jazz Band, Drumline, Concert Band, Symphonic. You can do as much as you can handle. If that makes sense.
And as much as you can fit schedule wise, because sometimes certain groups are on the same night. So in that case, you may have to pick and choose, or you may have to look at possibly joining a different group in that case.
That's right. What I want you guys to understand is that coming into this program, coming into our instrumental program, there is one mandatory ensemble, only one mandatory ensemble that we need you to be a part of. Now, it's either at the concert level, so the concert band, or the symphonic level at the symphonic band. If you wanted to be a part of both, you could be a part of both. Now, let's say you only chose to be a part of one, because you have to be a part of one, either concert band or symphonic band. Then you can go on, that's 1 day a week. So then you can go on to be part of jazz band if you want, which is on Thursday afternoons. Or you can be a part of Jam Club, which are many days, Mondays, Fridays, if I remember correctly, You could even join a choir if you wanted to. So it's all up to you, how much you can handle, how much your parents will tolerate, and how much your schedule will handle. Now, I hope that answers that question. And there was another question. There was another, like, a part B question. What was the
How many
part B question?
students are accepted from the audition process? We have room for, we usually try to get in and around 25, but some years we just can't decide. We can sometimes squeeze in as many as 30. Now with COVID restrictions, hopefully those lift. The room, in order to play in the classroom, everybody needs to be 6 feet apart. And right now I've been able to cram in 23. I could probably squeeze in another 2 students or so. So yeah, usually about 25 to 30. And there's somebody that had their hand up. I don't know if they want to unmute and ask their question, and then I've got one more question in the chat.
I have a question. Hi, my name is Jazz. Can you hear me?
You're breaking up a little bit.
Hello? Oh no, I did type it in the chat.
You might
it's
have
breaking
to.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
you might have to
freezing
type
quite a
it.
bit. Yeah.
There was another question in the chat. How many instruments can you learn at one time?
In the chat, how many can you learn at one?
I didn't quite get it. I think part of it is the same question from what I started to hear, the person asking. How many instruments can you learn at one time in the same class? Usually we're focused on one, with the exception of small ensembles where you are working on multiple, from vocal, piano, guitar, bass, drums. But usually in the instrumental class, you're focused on your instrument that you would have picked at the beginning in grade 9. You can branch out kind of more on your own to side projects when we're allowed to share instruments and stuff. And then in guitar, you're obviously focused on guitar. And if you took keyboard, you'd be focused on piano. So I hope that answers the question.
Sir, sorry, sir. I just wanted to butt in for a second.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say also, for any athletes, being in the major program, like being a music major, does not stop you at all from pursuing any of your sports. Just note that obviously you're a major, so your mandatory ensemble will come first, but it doesn't stop you. Like, we have many athletes that are also instrumental majors, so it doesn't limit your options at all.
Yeah, I would like to add on to that. I myself am a student athlete, and I'm also part of the instrumental program. So it's definitely possible. And it's just one thing that you've also made a commitment to your sport, but this is also a commitment you're making to the program itself. So that's important to keep in mind. But yeah, as long as you're able to, like Mr. Lamorte said, only do as much as you can handle. So don't feel obligated to be part of everything, because that's not going to happen realistically. So just, again, do the bare minimum, which would be joining just the first band, which is mandatory. And then as you progress, you can definitely join it more and more if you'd like.
Yeah, and if you're an athlete or you're involved in multiple groups that may possibly do occasionally kind of collide or interconnect, communication. And that's one thing that the students also get an opportunity to learn, is being an effective communicator. You need to be communicating with your coach and your ensemble director. A lot of the athletes, what they are able to do is they come to their ensemble practice first for about a half an hour or so on the day that their ensemble is. Some of them that want to stay longer, if it's, say, football, they actually come in their football uniform, basically dressed and ready to jump out on the field, and they might stay a little bit later because they don't have to get changed. So I've had students that do that. They're in their basketball clothes, or they're in their football practice clothes, and they just pack up and off they go. But they've communicated that ahead of time to both me and the coach. Another question: how do you decide? Actually, I'll let them in because it's their question. They just are rejoining the meeting. So how do you decide which instrument the students are assigned to when they enter grade 9? Again, it's done by a lottery. We introduce the instruments. We listen to what each instrument sounds like. I highly encourage students to pick based on the sound and not so much the size of the instrument or the appearance of the instrument, because you have to play that instrument, or you will be playing that instrument for 4 years. It's a good idea to like how the instrument sounds, because otherwise you're not going to want to practice and you're not going to want to play. So you might like that the flute is a really tiny instrument that can fit in your backpack, but maybe you don't like the high pitch of the flute. You really like the sound of the bass. You like that big bass sound, and you really love the sound of the tuba. Even though the tuba is a big instrument, you would probably play the tuba more because you like the sound of it than you would the flute if you don't like it. Can you use your own instruments? If it is one of the concert band instruments, yes, you can. We have students that rent instruments. We have students that own instruments. We have students that are loving the instrument they picked in grade 9 and end up getting them as Christmas presents down the road. So yes, you can use your own instrument. But again, for the core classes, that is the concert band. So for example, guitar would not be an instrument that would be used in the main instrumental class, if that makes sense. So if you have your own flute or trumpet or whatever, you definitely can use your instrument. We do have a storage room, so they wouldn't sit on the shelf where other students would use them. A lot of the students that have their own instruments just bring them and they put them in the storage room, so they're locked up for them to use if they don't fit in their locker. Are there any other questions? Okay, well, then I guess we can wrap it up. Thank you for coming. If there are any questions, you can contact either myself or Mr. Lamorte at the school, and we can address them that way. I'm off the top of my head, I don't remember the St. Roch instrumental email address. I wish I had that, because you could also email us directly. What I'll try to do is see if I can get Mr. Marr to put that on the website if it's not already there. So if any questions come up between now and your audition or your application, you could touch base with us. What's the list of instruments you teach? So really quickly, we have flute, we have oboe, we have clarinet, bass clarinet, alto clarinet, bassoon, alto sax, tenor sax, bari sax, trumpet, trombone, French horn, tuba, we have a baritone, and then percussion and drums. And then
piccolo. Do we have a piccolo too? No?
Piccolo as well, yes. So those are kind of your concert band instruments. Then we also have guitars for the guitar class and keyboards for the keyboard class.
Keyboards, drums, bass guitar, vocal mics, amplification, soundboards, everything.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for auditions? Try to be relaxed. Try to be yourself. Don't try to play something that's beyond your capability. So try to play something that you're going to be comfortable performing.
Right. We would rather see you play something fairly well that's at an easier level, rather than something at a difficult level where you struggle consistently. On top of that, just don't be nervous. We're not looking for perfect. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Ranveer's not perfect. Rose is not perfect. Mr. Haynes is a little bit perfect, but that's another story. And no, we're not looking for perfect. So it's not about that. Just come in, you relax, you play, you love your music. Show us that you love music. You know, if you can somehow show us how much you love music, that's always a bonus, you know?
Yeah. So no strings other than guitar. We do actually, sorry, I forgot that. We do have two double basses that are sometimes used in the concert band classes. But electric bass, not so much, because a lot of the adjudicators and festivals don't like electric bass with concert band. They kind of prejudge the band when they see somebody walking out with an amp, unfortunately. So we don't have violin, we don't have viola, cello, but if you already play that, this is a great opportunity to expand your musicianship. Let's see. Does every applicant make it to the workshop round? Yes. Yeah, everybody gets a chance to audition. And if we have workshops or virtual workshops, you're definitely part of that. Can you play piano as a major? No. Because there really isn't an opportunity for that within the concert bands.
However, there are a lot of opportunity for you to play piano, lots. So you would play piano in the small ensembles course. If you're interested, you could take piano as an actual course. You could take piano as part of jazz band. You could offer your services to the choir as well, and be a piano accompanist to one of the many choirs that we have. You could form your own little groups for different events. So even though you can't do piano as a major, there are a lot of opportunities for you to play piano.
Yeah.
Same thing with guitar.
Yeah. Mr. McCallan has even had students, if you're really proficient on piano, he has had students actually accompany the choir in competition and at festivals. So there are opportunities, just not necessarily opportunities to study. Do we choose the piece for the audition, or is it pre-chosen for us? No, you choose. That's why we were saying pick whatever you're comfortable with. Okay, so you want to pick something that you're not going to be panicked about playing. So the only thing that's pre-chosen for you is there's 5 rhythms that are on your audition sheet that you have to clap 2 of them for us. So we pick that. You don't have a choice in that. But otherwise, you can pick your audition piece. You have to write about a piece of instrumental music. Again, you're allowed to pick that. We don't provide a playing list or anything like that. And then, can you play violin in one of the concert bands? Unfortunately, concert bands don't usually have string parts. So, not really, but again, there are opportunities to create your own ensembles. If you wanted to play violin and you wanted to create your own group, and if your theory is advanced enough that you could arrange or write parts for it, it's a possibility. Sometimes Mr. McCallan is looking for violin or flute or French horn because there's a part with the choir. So it's not out of the question. It's just that the opportunities aren't maybe as pronounced. Again, concert bands, usually orchestras include string instruments. Concert and symphonic bands are more the wind and brass instruments.
Sorry, I just wanted to jump in there. We also have something called open mic, which doesn't usually pertain to just vocal majors. So if you ever did want to like show us your violin skills or anything, you could totally just sign up and you can show us what you can do. It'll usually be like, obviously with COVID restrictions, we're actually having one next week, I believe, on the 26th. If that's next week, I believe so. But we're having one and it's going to be on Instagram Live. So if you guys wanted to check in and see what type of talent we had, that'd be great. I also have a question here. What instrument is used the most for auditions? I really don't know. I'm gonna throw that to
Probably
Mr.
probably
Huarte.
piano. Probably piano, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We see a lot of piano, a lot of guitar, sometimes
drums.
a lot of drums. Not too many concert band instruments because again, the Catholic elementary schools, I don't know which board you are all from, but they don't have instrumental programs in the Catholic elementary schools. So when we do see a band instrument, either it's somebody that plays like in a community band, like the Portuguese marching band, or they take private lessons, or they're from the public school system.
Well, they can always email us if you guys think of a question tonight or later on, you could always email us or call us at the school as well. So Mr. Haynes, you mentioned something about getting the actual St. Rock Regional Arts email address as part of the page, the web page there.
Yeah, I'll get it put onto the web page. That'll probably be easier than me trying to dig for it right now.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I forgot to add because we actually added that last year during the audition process.
Mm-hmm. So Natalie, Jade, Sonia, Anisha, Nolan, David, Gabby, Quincy, and family, we hope we see you guys at the audition. We look forward to seeing you guys all there, okay?
That's Sonia, I believe. I don't know
And
if you-
Sonia,
Yeah.
Sonia, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Have a good night. And yeah, we hope to see you in the near future.
Thanks, everybody.